guarantee it's going to work. Broke it. Ah! Inner CV joint. I broke it already. First time out. Cut. Yeah, that's what it is. Well, that didn't take long to find the first weak link. Inner CV joint on the passenger side, just gone. I mean, to be fair, the car wasn't a runner when I bought it, so I have no idea the condition of those parts ahead of time. So I guess we'll be ordering some rear axles to throw in here. But other than that, I mean, I'm thrilled with the way this is turning out. Before Kathy got here to film this morning, I did buzz it around a little bit. I had a problem with the fuel system. I guess it was a chunk of rust or something broke loose inside the tank. So I ended up having to drop everything out of the fuel system and blow through all of the lines and flush and everything else. So that was just now was going to be the first, like, let's get on it, video. But next time, 2 steps forward, 1 step backwards, but just keep moving forward. Just keep your eye on the prize and just keep moving forward, right? And this has been a rough year for axles for me, right? We wasted the one on Bottle Rocket last year, and now this one, maybe it's an omen. All right, so functionality, everything is working perfectly. You can see we started working on the interior. Uncle Kathy did the nice, beautiful vinyl covering. So it's going to actually look factory. Maybe not factory, but like British hot rod factory race car in 1967, right? Which is like the head that I'm looking for here. Yeah, come around this side. So, let me show you what I got going on here. We're recovering these seats too. So, I wanted to show you guys this setup right here. Well, first of all, this, a lot of people gave me grief. Oh, you can't build a firewall out of wood, right? It's not a firewall, it's an access panel. The rest of it is all steel. And this thing actually earns its keep. This stays cool. The rest of the tunnel gets pretty hot. This stays cool. And you know, your leg is right up against this. So that's a good piece. And we'll cover that in vinyl so it'll blend right in. One of the issues I had with this, with the carburetor placement, was for a kickdown linkage. You know, we're actually on a Chrysler, it's throttle position sensor. So, you know, there's two levers on a torque flight. There's this one down here, which is your actual shift lever, right? And then there's this one here, and this is attached to the carburetor with a piece of linkage, and this tells the transmission where your foot is. So this is like, this will delay the upshift, and it'll give you a downshift, you know, a passing gear when you wood it. So with the placement of this, if you look at where this carburetor sits, here. You see there's absolutely no room to run that kind of linkage. So what I did was adapted this piece that John Wilburn had made for a different transmission, and it's a threaded rod with an adjustable block here, right? So the way I have this set is the way, let's say 1/4 throttle. So with this here, it'll upshift automatically at around 18 to 20 miles an hour from first to second, and then around 30 miles an hour from second to third. In lieu of even a cable, even like one of those low car cables, there's just no way to route one. So basically, it'll always shift the transmission at the same RPM. If you want to go, you have to manually shift it, which is no big deal. You know, one of the reasons we have a ratchet shifter in here is so that you can, you know, have control over the shifting. So for regular driving, this is just fine. Now, if you are screwing around with a Chrysler product, a torque flight, and you can't put a throttle position cable or a throttle position linkage on it, don't run it, because this thing is, if you run this with nothing on it, you'll burn up the transmission. It shifts first to second immediately, first, second, and into third. So you'll wipe out the trans. So that's why on this one here we've got it set so that, like I said, it's about the same position. If you were at 1/4 throttle, that's about where she's set. So I guess that's it, right? It's all detail work from this point forward. The front part of the car is all wired electronically. I still have to do the turn signals and taillights. That's what all of this random wiring is. Rug for the interior, finish the vinyl work, get the seats recovered. You know, it's moving along. When is a project car finished, right? That's a trick question, because a project car is never finished. As soon as you finish the car, it's no longer a project. So this thing will never be finished. It'll always be a project. It'll always be in one state of evolution. It'll always be, you know, messing around with it. So just like our other cars. None of our cars will ever be finished. Don't hold your breath. I'll see you tomorrow.